Hey everyone, so as we start looking ahead to 2026, we're all thinking about what a successful year would look like. But what if the way we've been measuring success is, well, completely off? Today, we're going to dive into 6 powerful faith-based habits that could totally redefine your goals for the new year. So, just for a second, I want you to really think about that. When you picture a successful 2026, what do you see? Is it a bigger paycheck, a promotion, maybe hitting a new goal? Just hang on to that thought for a minute, because we're about to turn it on its head. See, the perspective we're exploring today completely flips the script on success. The idea is that for a Christian, real success isn't about what you achieve out there in the world, but who you become on the inside. It's all about growing in your faith, building your character, and really trying to walk in obedience to God. We're basically shifting from an external scorecard to an internal one. And we're going to break down these 6 habits into a really simple but powerful framework. It's all about looking upward to God, outward to other people, and inward to ourselves. Let's get into how these 3 connections can absolutely transform the year ahead. All right, let's dive right in with part 1, our upward connection with God. This is the foundation, It's where everything else starts. And the first 2 habits are all about making this connection stronger and way more intentional. So, habit number 1 is all about making that time with God a non-negotiable. And hey, this doesn't have to mean hours and hours of prayer every single day. The real key here is consistency. Even just a few intentional minutes, maybe in the car in your commute, or right before you go to sleep, that can be enough to keep you centered and keep that relationship strong all year long. Okay, so the second habit, it really deepens that connection. It's all about shifting from just passively reading the Bible to actively studying it. It's kind of like the difference between just skimming a headline versus really digging into an article, taking notes, and looking for wisdom that you can actually use in your life. So, now that we've looked upward, it's time to turn our focus outward. Because a strong faith was never meant to be kept to ourselves, right? This is where our personal faith starts to become visible to the world. And it happens through 2 really powerful habits. Habit number 3 is a big one. It's all about community. Let's be real, faith is not a solo sport. It was never meant to be. We need people around us to pick us up when we're down, to challenge us to grow, and to celebrate with us. It's how we're designed to function. So you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great, but how do I actually find that community? Well, here are some super practical ideas. Joining a small group can give you that safe space to be real and honest. Serving in a ministry connects you with people who share your purpose. And finding a spiritual mentor, man, that can be invaluable, getting guidance from someone who's already walked the path. Now, this 4th habit is an absolute game changer. It's about retraining your brain to see every little moment as a chance to serve. That person who cuts you off in traffic, a divine appointment, the ridiculously long line at the grocery store, an opportunity to practice patience. It's a radical shift in perspective that can literally change your entire day. And this is where the rubber meets the road, right? Our actions speak so much louder than our words. A simple act of kindness, being generous when you don't have to be, just offering a listening ear to someone who needs it. These are the things that show Christ's love to a world that is so desperate to see it in action. Okay, we've looked up, we've looked out, and for our final part, we're going to look inward. This last piece of the puzzle is all about stewarding the life you've been given. It's about personal growth, not for our own glory, but for a much, much higher purpose. Habit 5 gets right to the core of our attitude. It's all about humility and gratitude. It's about waking up and realizing that everything we have and everything we are is a gift. This simple daily practice of just saying thank you for the big stuff and the small stuff can completely change our perspective from one of entitlement to one of genuine thankfulness. Now, this 6th and final habit, it might actually surprise you. It's self-development. I think there's this common misconception that focusing on personal growth is somehow selfish or unspiritual. But this idea argues the exact opposite. Developing yourself, that is an act of stewardship. Why? Well, think about it like this. God gave you specific talents, skills, and passions for a reason. They aren't just for you. They're tools meant for His work. So the more you sharpen those tools, the more you develop those gifts, the more effective you can be for His kingdom. Becoming the best version of yourself isn't selfish, it's strategic. And we're not just talking about traditional church skills here. Look at this. learning data analysis or AI, mastering a new craft, investing in your education, or even just working on your emotional and mental health. These are all modern ways to steward your gifts for God's glory and to serve others in really cool, unique ways. So there you have it, a truly successful year built on three solid pillars: your connection upward to God, your connection outward to others, and your stewardship inward of the life He's given you. When you put these 6 habits together, you get a balanced, intentional, and really purposeful life of faith. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Which one of these habits will you start today? You don't have to do it all at once. Just pick one. One small, consistent change can make a massive difference. Here's to a truly successful 2026.